Hey everybody, Tom here with Hidden Beats, and today we are talking with Jace Carrillo. Or I did that right?
Yeah,
How are you?
Jace Carrillo.
How are you doing?
It's good. Yeah, good, Tom. It's a pleasure to connect. And well, I'm doing fine. You see, like now it's springtime. The hot days are coming, the warm days, and that keeps the spirit alive. No, somehow.
Yeah, I've been outside all morning, and it's been nice to see some sunlight come through.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. I can't wait because the summer comes with new music as well and with different vibes. But definitely, this time of the year goes perfect with that kind of a R&B and things that makes you feel like, okay, I'm coming out of the cocoon somehow.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So we're here to talk to you today a bit about your music and kind of what you're doing. But for those who are new, can you give a little bit of an introduction about yourself and kind of what you bring to the table?
For sure. Well, I'm Jace Carrillo, and I'm a Venezuelan, now Canadian. I became Canadian last month,
Okay.
well, I'm a singer, songwriter. I consider myself a hopeless romantic, and it's because I really like to talk about love and situations that put us into let's say in a kind of a roller coaster, but
Mm-hmm.
at the end of the day, a path where we learn, where we grow, and where we become better humans as well.
For sure, for sure. And so my first question is, how did you get into music? Was your family musical at all, or did you just kind of pick something up as you went?
Well, I could say that actually my family, like it's really counted the people that are musicians in my family. It wasn't something that it was a thing, Some artists they say, well, my parents used to be musicians, but in my case, it just came out like it just happened. I've been singing since I was like 4 years old. I used to like grab the mic at the parties and the kids parties and started singing just like that. I don't know, I don't know how that happened, but it was a love at this as a first sight kind of thing. Like I always loved music. I always loved to sing, and well, here I am doing music.
Mm. And so you have a new single out. I wrote down Equinox is the one.
Yeah, Equinox.
So
Yeah.
tell us about that single.
Sorry.
Oh, sorry, mic
Oh
cut
yeah.
out.
Yeah. It cut out a little bit, but it's okay. It's fine.
Okay, okay. So yes, a bit about your new single.
Yeah, well, Equinox is and all these songs that are been going 2022, they are kind of related to space. They have this cosmos vibe in the song, in the sound, and also the song itself. So Equinox, it goes well with the springtime. It's that kind of moment of the year where we know that days and nights are in two spots of the planet, in two different spots. They are in the same let's say the same length, the same situation. So
Mm-hmm.
this is just to say that sometimes if you're in different poles, in different positions of different locations, sometimes you still feel like it's the same, and it's because there's a distance love situation where you have to go through challenges and you have to kind of like um, um, kind of grow in a sense that how to explain it better. Okay, let me see. You are in two poles. Imagine that you're in a distance love. Have you ever been in a kind of situation like that where
I have, yeah.
oh my goodness. Well, it's a challenge, definitely, right? I think that Equinox represents that feeling of not finding the answers right away, trying to feeling powerless a little bit because you are caught up in a situation where that other side of you is somewhere else and you cannot do anything about it, but you wonder yourself like, how can we make this better? Do you think it's a matter of timing? Do you think maybe we can be together in another moment, like, or maybe we can go through this? But it's kind of like that well, I would say that that powerless feeling of feeling in love but not being able to live it in real life, right, in person.
No, for sure. And I think a lot of people probably have gone through something like that.
Yeah. I mean, I'm coming from Venezuela. I came here to Canada. Definitely, I went through that, and I would say it's not easy. It's not easy. Like distance love, it's always a challenge. But I could say that there, for those who believe in love, for those who believe that they can go through this, I just wanted to send that message of hope as well.
For sure. Now, what's your process like when you're putting together a track and trying to make sure it's a solid piece?
Well, it all starts with a combination between good chords and good chord progression and melodies, I would say. Like sometimes you hear those chords. In this case, when we were writing down Equinox, it was about guitar chords, really, really intimate, but at the same time, it gave you that flow of, okay, I think this is somehow the energy went down, and you start like brainstorming those melody ideas and you start molding from there some kind of gibberish, but at the end of the day, you think about the message that you want to give, and then you just go with the flow kind of thing.
hmm Now, since coming from Venezuela, how do you think your music's evolved? I mean, you've had the Venezuelan influence, now you're seeing a Canadian influence. How have you evolved and merged things together?
Well, it's a mix between feeling Latino, and at the same time going through the adaptation of becoming Canadian as well, and absorbing these styles that are really from North America, like R&B and like soul influences, and kind of like going through a way where you mix in. At the end of the day, is pop what I'm doing, but I'm just mixing my flow as a Latin singer with these R&B influences, and trying to come out with Spanish, but in this case it was totally in English, right?
hmm
So yeah, learning in the way, like I wish I could sing become like Enrique Iglesias did one day, like Ricky Martin did as well. Like these artists, for me, they represent a lot for my culture, and at the same time, they do that crossover into global music, into other aspects where it's not only a language barrier, but also about feelings and connecting us all at the end of the day.
And what do you think is is the difference between the two cultures? So Venezuela probably has a whole different feel for the music scene, and then Canada has a whole different feel. What do you think the difference is between the two?
Well, I grew up listening to salsa, merengue, reggaeton, and people were always like, "No, you have to do this music because that's what is working here in this side of the world." And I always wanted to sing R&B. I actually started singing in a gospel choir, so I kind of like always had this influence from the North America, no, if we say it like that.
hmm
But when I came here to Canada, it was the opposite. People were talking about, of course, pop, R&B. There are many styles, right? But
hmm
they were always like, I was always like, okay, well, how can I bring my Latin influences and my culture and blend it into this market somehow? And I kind of like, I'm trying to connect with the people here, giving them songs like Equinox and songs like I have this is the second one I do in English. The
hmm
first one is called The Rhythm of Life, and both have this flow that is really pop, but at the same time it has somehow a little bit of influences from the Latin culture. In Equinox, we could feel it more with maybe with the chord progressions that are there.
hmm
It has some chords that, okay, can bring you to a kind of a bolero at the end of the day, but it would depend on the perspective. But I can't wait to perform it live, for example. I think I could maybe give you more of that bolero vibe in the end.
Yeah, I bet that'd be pretty interesting. I got to listen to Equinox before the interview, so I got a good feel of kind of, I can see where you're mixing some of the different influences. It's nice to hear that type of music for sure.
Yeah, yeah, and well, I'm for this album Phenomena, I'm going through songs like this, but also I'm bringing the some maybe some Afro pop or maybe some other styles that can mix well with the Latin culture, but as well with the Canadian market and the Canadian culture somehow. Well, if we know Canada is a place where we feel like the entire world comes to us and blends in our society. So I want to just bring more of that. I want to bring the world to you, to us as Canadians, and to people that can appreciate also other type of music that is out there.
For sure. Is there any like Canadian artists that you're listening to that are inspiring you, doing some really interesting things right now?
Well, for sure, and this one I created at the Equinox. I created with Miles Castello, which is an excellent artist here in Canada. And I, for sure, I could say that there are singers that move the fiber, like Justin Bieber. I would say that I was inspired by Justin Bieber for to do this song. And I could say that I would like to bring to Latin America as well those vibes that The Weeknd or Justin Bieber can give us through pop music. So I hope I can accomplish that blend at the end of the day.
Yeah, those vibes are nice because it's easy listening, but it's fun. Like, has a bit of a nice flow to it. So I think that's a very popular sound right now in the music industry. For,
Amazing.
for
Yes.
sure, for sure. Now, is there, this is a question of mine, is there something that you have on your go-to playlist that people might not expect that you're listening to? Like, do you like to listen to some country music one day or something different that's right out there?
You know, I used to, when I was a child, I used to hear all the time this song. Well, I used to listen to this song every morning. It's called Every Day by Rascal Flatts.
I love
And
Rascal Flats.
oh my God. And I at the end of the day, it's music. And what it matters is the message and how it connects to you, right? And
Mm-hmm.
I was always open to listen to new styles, to listen to other languages, to listen to different genres, and it's because I was learning, I was absorbing, I was understanding, and I was also feeling the vibes and the lyrics. So for me, artists like Rascal Flat or there are artists in French as well that are really interesting here. Not we. I know when we think about French music in Canada, we will think about Celine Dion, but there are a bunch of artists as well that you can feel the heartfelt lyrics and the heartfelt music as well, and that's what I like. I like music that connect to the heart,
Mm-hmm.
and well, if they have this atmosphere that you can close your eyes when you listen through your headphones. I think that's insane for me. That's amazing.
Yeah, Rascal Flats has always been one of my favorites. That was the song for my wife walk down the aisle at our wedding. Like we love that type of music. I've seen them
That's
live a few
amazing.
times. It's been great.
Yeah, there's a festival here, and every summer they do it in Montreal. It's called Osheaga,
Yeah.
and when I go, I love to discover new artists every time, right? And it's so cool to see how people enjoy. At the end of the day, they enjoy no matter what genre, but the actual connection from the artist, and that's what it matters. We are getting in a new era where sometimes we and me, I say it as an artist as well that is making music as much as I can, but we're kind of in an era where we feel this pressure of delivering songs.
Mm-hmm.
But I think what it matters is the quality of what you're doing and the quality of songs that you're putting out, and and also the message that you're putting out there. So when I can hear it, when I can feel that it's genuine, I connect right away.
For sure. And because we're in an interesting era with music and coming out of COVID and everything and the digital, what do you think it takes to stand out now? Because there's so much music. How do you get yourself above someone else?
Yeah, definitely there's so much music out there, and I can say as a as an independent artist, it's always a challenge. But I'm learning while I'm doing. I can say that what I'm putting out there, my first goal is to make it right, to deliver. I know that if I listen to it in 5 years, I'm gonna still feel that it's right. That I'm not deviating myself from what I feel I represent as an artist. And yeah, and trying to make it as with a lot of quality, and thinking of well, I want people that connect with me to experience what I feel when I write a song. So well, let's I just hope for the best. And of course I would think that the next step for me is to keep learning through every day through social media and through marketing features, how I can take my music to the next level, and connect with the people, the right people, in the end of the day.
For sure. And so you as someone who's a member, this is I like this question too. It's a fun one. Is what's one thing you think should be asked more in an interview like this that isn't asked enough?
Yeah, I would think as a good question. Hmm. Maybe and this is something I don't talk about every day, and it's the amount of effort that is required to put out a song. And um, and I would say at this stage of my life, I've been practically multiplying myself in different aspects of my branding to get the best out of it, right? And
Hmm.
I'm saying that as an artist, I've been learning how to not only do a song, not only create beautiful art, let's say, and to put out quality music, but also to learn how to manage yourself, how to create networking, how to deliver social content, how to plan ahead every step that is required to, for example, the release of an album. Also, and go through life, and the roller coaster that where we live on. There are moments where you feel super down, but you need to kind of like confront those moments and understand that when it goes low, it's gonna go up soon as well. And in those moments is where you doubt a little bit. You have this I can say that I've lived through this imposter syndrome sometimes, where I feel like maybe what I'm doing is not enough. But it's
Hmm.
we just have to learn how to listen to ourselves, but also how to trust in what we're doing, and it requires a lot of strength here and here. And
Hmm.
I could say that all this process of making this music and putting my heart out is making me grow a lot. And I think you are gonna listen more and more of that Jace that is constantly evolving, of course, as all of us. But I think how I differentiate myself from the rest. I would say that you if you listen to my music, the new music that I'm putting out, you can see that it sounds different, but also it has a lot of real stuff in. So I would say that just stay tuned, and well, tell me what you think as well, because at the end of the day, we love the feedback.
Hmm. For
We
sure.
Yeah.
Is there a piece of advice someone gave you when you were starting out in your career that you really was like, wow, that's the best piece, and you remember that still to this day?
um well, I would say that uh, we have to let ourselves go sometimes, and not get into this um, overthink process.
Mm-hmm.
You know, sometimes we get in that loop where we don't take the next step because we want to, I don't know, sometimes it happens. And I think the best advice that I've received is just to, sometimes when you feel that you're starting to be in that loop, in that boomerang somehow, just let yourself go. Like, just take the action and keep advancing. Don't let yourself get stuck in one thing.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
I know I do that all the time. Like, so I'm not a musician, but I'm a photographer and I design like the website and things like that. And sometimes when you get stuck on something like an edit or you're trying to make something look nice and it just isn't working, and oh, can I do this? Can I do this? And I've had to put something aside and say, okay, I need to focus on something.
Yeah, it happens. I remember the first song that I put out as Jace Carrillo was Por Amar de Más. It's a song, it's like an R&B, but in Spanish.
Mm-hmm.
And it took me like 6 months to decide that yes, I'm releasing it. You know, I was going through a process where I was doing and I was destroying. I was doing destroying, like you know, kind of like those cartoons where you see someone writing something and just damaging
Yeah.
after and throwing it out. Like, I was kind of in that situation where what I was doing, I was not entirely happy with it until the moment I said, I have to start somewhere. I have to just put it out and keep building on top of it and keep advancing. And well, now this is gonna be my second album as a solo artist, as an independent artist, and I can't be more happier. Like, I think I'm doing a lot for myself, but I'm doing a lot of the things that I want to do as well.
Mm-hmm. And that's a bonus. If it's something that you want to do and you like doing it, it is no longer a job. It's fun.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. It
So my
happened.
last question I have for you is always the most important one for me because it lets me know a little bit just kind of what I do is why music? Why do you keep doing what you're doing?
I sometimes there are days that I feel like I didn't choose it. Like if it's something that I can't escape from it. Like, if I spend one day without doing music or or something that is not related to my career, um like, I feel guilty. I feel like, if, like, what are you doing? Like, you have to do something about it. Like, I can't escape from it.
Hmm.
But I think because that's what I know the best. That's music. It makes me talk in a way that I can't do in an interview on or at another or other type of job, or I just, it just says things that I normally can't explain, and it makes me feel good with it. So I when I heard people that they tell me, I love what you're doing, or when I've seen people that are crying because of a music performance that I did or something like that, that is, I think that's priceless. That I can die in peace just knowing that I could change someone's life for a moment. And that's why I stay true to myself, because what I'm putting out there is really towards building a better self somehow. Like, I don't
Hmm.
feel like my music is destroying anyone. I feel like it's doing totally the opposite. And that makes me feel good, because I feel like I'm contributing a little bit more with the planet somehow. Like, I don't know. I would like to do more stuff for the planet, more stuff for those that want to listen to good lyrics and things that are constructive. And
Hmm.
and I think that's my way to help.
Yeah, music is its own language, so it tells a story on its own without you having to say the words for it.
Yeah, yeah. So, for example, if we go back to Equinox, that's the kind of song that is giving a hope message somehow to those that are going through this distance love challenge, that they can go out and see for themselves that maybe there's a possibility, and there is. It requires compromise, and I know it's a difficult challenge to be in a distance love, but if you are willing to build, you are always going to find the answers.
For sure. That's all the questions I have on here for you. Is there any kind of final notes or words of wisdom you want to leave for people who are going to watch this?
For sure. And I could say, well, I know I'm doing music in English. I think when you listen to my music, you're gonna find the same Jace essence in all of them. I think this album that talks about cosmos and love as a journey is just here to bring you some own lessons somehow, and situations that I went through, situations that I heard from my friends that they were going through. So it's really personal, and I think you're gonna just listen to the best that I could make from myself at this point. So I really think you can connect with it, and if you like Spanish, I think it's gonna be a nice way to learn.
For sure. And like I listened to your song. I know it's going to be good. I know the album's going to be good. I'm going to make sure to link everything in the bio so people can check you out and follow your social medias, everything, just because I think you're doing some good stuff for sure.
Oh, thank you, man. Thank you. I really appreciate it.
For sure. And we're going to have another conversation, I'm sure, because I always like to catch up with friends of the show here and get to know what's going on and new releases. And feel free to send me some stuff when you're dropping more
Yeah.
things, and we'll share it for everyone.
Yeah, I'm about to share the news that there's a new song coming out May the 12th.
Okay.
And yeah, it's gonna be like the single for the summer kind of thing. And yeah, well, while promoting Equinox, now we're going towards the summer vibes as well. So I'm really excited about this one.
All right. I'm looking forward to hear it for sure.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
Excellent.
that's it for me. And you enjoy the rest of your day, and we're gonna keep an eye on your releases and see what's coming out.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Tom, and it's a pleasure.
For sure. You have a nice
Okay.
one.
Until next one. Okay.
Bye.